Michael Chandler on his YouTube channel discussed how his fight with Conor McGregor would go. He said that he would murder Conor McGregor on the ground.
There's no doubt. I mean, I'd murder him on the ground, I think.
You think so?
I do think so. You know, he's the thing about him too is he's very rangy in and out. He negotiates and navigates the distance very well. So that's why he hasn't been taken down a lot in his fights. So I think he does a good job of coming into the pocket, bouncing out of the pocket, hitting guys with follow-up shots or with, I guess, counter strikes, if you will. That's kind of his favorite thing, that pull left hand. Guy throws a right hand, he gets right out of the way and then hits you with that big left hand. He put Eddie Alvarez down with it, but man, I mean, just everybody, the list goes on and on of guys that he's put down with it. So that would definitely be the easiest path to victory, but that's been the easiest path to victory in all of my fights. I just haven't shown it. So either way, it'll be the most electrifying first round we've ever seen.
Maybe it's time to show it.
Della Maddalena has found an opponent for UFC 290 after his original opponent Sean Brady was forced out with an injury. MMA reporter Damon Martin tweeted Della Maddalena will fight Josiah Harrell at UFC 290. Per multiple sources confirmed to me. Verbal agreements in place. Harrell had a viral fight a couple of weeks back where he took down his opponent and they flew through the cage door. Now he's in the UFC. Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith on the Believing Me podcast gave their thoughts on Conor McGregor losing 5 in a row on The Ultimate Fighter. They also talked about whether Conor McGregor has wasted his potential in the UFC.
Conor McGregor may be getting a bit testy on The Ultimate Fighter after 5 losses. There's a little video here, Brian, if you want to do the honors, please, and just play that. Listen, I've done it. I've coached it twice. It is annoying when your team's losing. You know what I mean? You do take it personal because it's like, you know, because that's your rival, right? And him and Chandler are supposed to fight. Whether or not that comes to fruition, that's a whole nother conversation. I hope it does. But he's not in the testing pool yet, and he's had some distractions, shall we say? Miami Heat. McGregor's feeling the heat. Yeah, I mean, that's the format. 2 rounds. You can't about it. If he'd have won after 2 rounds, he wouldn't have had anything to say then.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like typical when it's been the format the whole time.
It's always been that format, yeah.
The history of the whole history of the show, that's been the format. When it's not working out for you, leave it to Conor to want to change it to benefit him. You have to fight within the rule set you fight in. Guys in other in the PFL, the guys don't end the fight and say, well, if I had elbows, I would have won. Well, that's not how it goes. That's not the rules.
Yeah.
You have to fight under the rule set in the format that you're under, and it doesn't always benefit you.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean,
he's getting angry, and I get it. He's lost 5 in a row. He doesn't lose well. Conor's not a great loser.
Well, we got to be. What is it? Gracious in victory. No, gracious. What was it? Gracious in victory and humble in defeat, or was it the other way around? That's what he said. But anyway,
hard to do.
I understand what he's saying about McGregor. You know what I mean? Some people might not like the antics these days and all the rest of it, but you can't say that he's wasted his potential. You know what I mean? He might be. No, not even throwing it away is a bit strong. You can't say that he's wasted his potential. He became a double champ. He's made bucket loads of dough. He's super famous. He's got businesses all over the place. That's what we're all trying to achieve through this. You know, I understand he's wasting his potential in terms of his fighting ability, but the fighting has got more than he ever could have offered.
Yeah, maybe his future, maybe what's left of those, maybe. But I agree with you. I also don't think that this season of The Ultimate Fighter is doing him very well. So I think I don't think so. I think people are getting annoyed by him, and I don't think that's necessarily his fault. It's a lot of editing. You know what I mean? I just don't think he's being portrayed. He looks like a great coach, but he's also making him look like a baby. He's kind of whining, complaining, and throwing tantrums.
Well, he's a diva, isn't he? He likes to get his own way all day, every day, in every single way.
And he doesn't like it, he doesn't get it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. But you can't say he's wasted his potential. Yeah, he might be. I don't know. I mean, the man can go and do whatever he wants.
Sean Brady recently revealed why he pulled out of his fight with Della Maddalena. On his Instagram, he went on to say, "Hey guys, as most of you know, I recently had to withdraw from my fight next weekend. I noticed a small blister on my left elbow after training on Monday night and woke up with pretty bad swelling and pain. As most of you know, I had a pretty serious staph infection in 2021, which resulted in surgery and 4 weeks of IV antibiotics through a PICC line. My wife, being a nurse, took a look at my arm on Tuesday morning and told me it would be the best idea to go to the hospital for what we thought would be 1 dose of IV antibiotics and get discharged and go about the rest of my camp and head to Vegas. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. My arm continued to swell and wasn't taking well to the antibiotics. Swelling and pain got worse. The orthopedic surgeon had to drain my elbow twice and send cultures to determine the correct antibiotics course. Thankfully, by Thursday they were able to pinpoint that Streptococcus B was growing in my left elbow, which quickly spread to my bursa, causing a septic bursitis. I was able to get discharged but still having some swelling, and the doctor said there's no way I'm able to fight and I need to let this heal. I'm crushed because I put my heart and soul into this sport and in this camp. I sacrificed going on a honeymoon with my wife, spent money I'll never get back, but things happen, man, and I'll be back stronger than ever. To Jack, I'm sorry we won't be able to share the cage together. I know you worked just as hard as me, but as for saying Brady the bed, I expect that from an internet troll, but not from a fellow fighter himself. So shame on you, and I hope you and none of your teammates have to go through this in the future. We'll see each other someday soon. To my fans, thank you for the continued support. This is just a bump in the road for Team Brady, and we'll be back doing what we do when I'm healed up. Love you guys. Henry Cejudo has been forced out of his fight with Marlon Vera due to a shoulder injury. On his Twitter, he went on to say some important news. Unfortunately, I won't be able to compete on August 19th at UFC 292. I have a tear in my right shoulder that requires rehab. I wish I could have gotten there with Chito, but I won't be able to make a full recovery in time. On his Instagram, he went on to say you can't have a great comeback without a setback. The road to Bionic Triple C coming soon.
Go ahead, Uncle Al. Tell me what we're doing here, Uncle Al.
We're doing a little shock wave to the supraspinatus tendon, infraspinatus tendon, trying to simulate some stem cell facilitation and healing.
There you have it, guys. This is some good stuff. Al was my physical therapist for my left shoulder, and now we're working on the right. You know, 2 tears, 50% tears, Al.
Yeah.
2 tendons.
Yep.
Was I did the right thing, Al?
I think you did the right thing.
Well.
Max Holloway on Sirius XM talked about the possibility of fighting Alexander Volkanovski for a 4th time.
Yeah, you know, the best way I can put it is like, man, if you're the best person in the world, then that's the goal. I want to be one of the best people in the world, and if it's Volk, then I'll fight him 100 times if I have to, you know, and I gotta, and to get me back to that step, everybody's like, oh, you can't get the 4th fight, you can't get a blah blah fight, but with Volk and blah blah. I'm like, okay, stop me, feed me whoever you think so can stop me of this way, or whoever's next, and I'll just keep knocking them down. I keep knocking them down until I gotta force their hand. You know, they can tell me that 4th fight might not ever happen, but I don't believe it. We live in a weird sport. We live in a weird time with this sport. We saw somebody leave our MMA and actually box one of the best boxers in the world. So don't ever tell me that I'm not gonna be able to fight a guy for the 4th time in my weight class, and we're both the best guys in the world, you know. So you're just not gonna shake my confidence, you know. I'll knock down 10, 12 more guys if I gotta, you know, just to prove a point.